All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell. Okay, it's already started. It's already going. All right, and yesterday I didn't even realize I hadn't read anything about Kanye West and him becoming a billionaire. So I guess Forbes magazine is saying that he's now become a billionaire. And so I'm like, and I swear, like the whole thing about the rappers and, you know, why they always get all the, you know, all the limelight and the accolades and stuff like that. So anyway, so I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, what's really going on? And so I always tell y'all, no matter what, I tell y'all that when people have a lot of money like that, then they're beholden to somebody. Somebody owns them. All right, because even if you're a billionaire, you still don't have the type of money that certain other billionaires have, and you don't have the power, like they say, that old money power, like the Rothschilds, like their old money, or Rockefellers or something like that. You know, they have old money. They've been billionaires, you know, since before time or whatever. So there's a big difference. But when Forbes makes you a billionaire, there's a reason. All right, just like I told y'all, like when Jay-Z became a billionaire, and the reason is once again to continue to dumb you down. They want to dumb you down. Why? Because what happens? So the first thing I do today, when I'm like, let me go in here and check my social media. And so all I see is all these posts about Kanye West becoming a billionaire. And not to mention, then we get the arguing. So we start the infighting. Yeah, y'all used to talk about Kanye, you know, back then they didn't want me, but now that I got $1 billion, they all on me. That was somebody else's rap, but you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, look, first of all, y'all have to realize something. They give them a lot of money so that they can be, once again, Pied Pipers. You know, the story of the Pied Piper, to lead the children to the slaughter. Okay, and that's all it is. Kanye West is an imp. He's stupid. All right, he's a fool. I don't care how much money he got. Money does not give you integrity. It does not give you, it doesn't give you common sense. It doesn't, just like I try to tell people about Fushi, like with Trump. Like everybody, he's been working for these people and da-da-da-da-da. So what? If you work for a person that has no morals and no integrity, then what does that say about you? That says that you're just in it for the money. It doesn't say you're in it for the morals or for the integrity. It says that you're in it just to make money. And money is not an indicator of your intelligence. It's not there's a whole bunch of people that get rich and are the biggest dummies in the world. They just got a lot of money. Because money is the god of the earth, the god of this world. That's all it is. In God we trust one. I keep telling y'all that. Y'all just like, would everybody like to have a whole lot of money? Of course, because what? Money in essence, in this world order, money is freedom, because then I can do pretty much whatever I want, when I want, how I want, and that kind of thing. That's why everybody chases money. But the real thing is, it doesn't mean that you have integrity, or that you're a moral person, or that you're a good person, or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. So Kanye West, and the reason why they're giving him a lot of money and playing him up like that is why. Number one, he's a Trump supporter. He is, he's down with the program. He's down with the white nationalist, white supremacist program. And he, basically he admits it. He doesn't, and then the next big thing is that black folks started moving away from traditional religion. All right. So we started moving away from Christianity and from Islam and started going into what? African spirituality. All right. And we started learning African spirituality. And there are literally millions of people who are now like trying to learn about African spirituality, including me, who are teaching it, who are studying it, who are, going through. Why? Because we realized that religion was the part of dumbing us down. And once again, the dumbing down is, okay, when we were in Africa, and then this is the thing, when we were in Africa, we were not Christians. We were not Muslims. You know, that stuff didn't come along until after, you know, we were enslaved. Okay, so we're talking about 500 or 600 years, and we just been fed religion. And so we walk around and we're all divided by religion and all these different things, but that's not what it's about. It was all about them being able to take power and control over us and be able to, so that they could control us. They knew that, hey, if we can control them, then, you know, and the easiest way to control somebody is what? Be their God, you know. So we got all these pictures. They don't, you know, they'll put a black picture of Jesus up there, but you know, the overriding theme of everything is what? Is that Jesus is a white man, blonde haired and blue eyed. You know, and you can that's the funny thing. You can argue with people. First of all, how could a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes with no melanin in his skin live in northern Africa? Probably not going to happen without him getting cancer and die. Maybe he didn't die from crucifixion. Maybe he died from melanoma. Maybe he had skin cancer or whatever. I don't know. But look, that was a joke, okay? But I'm just trying to tell y'all, all of this stuff is just designed to reel you in. And okay, so they were mad because people started leaving Christianity. So all of a sudden, what? He starts having these church services and all this kind of stuff, and people think that they're having some kind of spiritual epiphany. You know, he's making money. He's selling T-shirts for, he's selling T-shirts for $200. He ain't nothing but a crook, just like the rest of these pulpit pimps. That's all he is. He's a crook. All right, and because they're not going to give him that kind of money. Well, y'all giving him the money. Is not really them giving him the money. But what I'm trying to say is, he gets promoted. Anything he says or does, it's all over social media. But everything that what's the guy? Brother Smith, the billionaire investor, the black billionaire investor who made money like the regular normal way, Robert Smith. Okay. Why ain't every move he makes, why isn't every move he makes in the media? Why? Just explain to me. Or even, for that matter, even Bob Johnson, somebody that I don't really like a whole lot because I think he's a sellout, but at least he made legitimate money. But nobody talks about the money. Don't nobody talk about the money, or, you know, all we talk about is who got this or who got that, but they don't talk about their integrity. They don't talk about their morals. They don't talk, you know, about anything, you know, or their pathway to how to get there. And even Bob Johnson, I mean, for you know, let's be honest, you know, they use music videos, you know, and they were willing to allow him to do it, you know, just like, okay, so I can exploit who I want to exploit, but that's what it is. It's exploitation of Africans and descendants of Africans. That's what it is. Is it, you know, because all those music videos, what did they do? That's how what I was talking about yesterday. That's how we got the concept of treating our queens like bitches and hoes. That's what it came from, those videos. You know, the whole concept of, in fact, yesterday, it's funny because yesterday I was showing my son. My son was like, Dad, you know, I shouldn't put him out there like that. But anyway, I showed him Pretty Tony, all right? I showed him the discourse between, Pretty Tony and whatever. So, you know, and if you just listen to that one discourse, you know that black exploitation movies triggered a whole, you know, the way we dressed. It's the same thing with hip hop. You know, it's the exact same thing. The way we dress, the way we talk, all of that kind of stuff. And we thought it was cool, but really what it was doing was it was breaking down the moral fabric of our society. It was completely destroying the moral fabric. And the church did the same thing. Why? Because it kept telling us that our God didn't look like us, or our God wasn't like us, in that in order for us to be anything, that we had to be more like that God. And that's what Jesus is. Jesus is saying, look, you got to be more like. But what they did was they did it from a negative perspective. there is such thing as Christ, but Christ is your higher self. It's your higher nature. Christ has nothing to do with nobody on a cross or nothing like that, you know. And then they killed him. so I'm like, you know, and there was nothing in our former spirituality that was about death. The cross was about death. The Ankh is about life. All right. So there's a whole entirely. So if I get you fixed, just like I even noticed, like everybody is fixed on death. Like that's how this whole coronavirus thing, it's all about death. Everybody is so afraid, you know, where our ancestors were not afraid. In fact, our ancestors, that's where you get the terminology in the Bible that the day of a man's death is greater than the day of his birth. Because when on the day of your death, you get to go and meet you get to meet the ancestors, you get to meet all the gods, you get to meet, you know, so that's why they had all these elaborate burial chambers and everything like that, so that they could go into the afterlife. They never thought about themselves as dying. They never did. They knew that the physical body would die, but they never thought that their spiritual body would ever die. And it doesn't, because we know what? That energy doesn't you can't destroy energy. It can't be destroyed, you know. And so, you know, and I was looking at that, I was thinking about that the other day, you know, because it was the anniversary of the day that Prince transitioned out of his body. And, you know, so, and I'm a Prince fan, and I was like, and I was thinking, I was watching like old Prince videos and stuff like that. I was like, that energy is not gone. Because you can still, in fact, anybody that you know, your mother, father, anybody that's transitioned and going on to the afterlife, you can think about things that they did and said and all that kind of stuff, and it's still with you. That's part of the makeup of your soul and your spirit. You know, you can't, there is no way. My mother has been gone since 2006, right? But I hear her every day. And sometimes it's absolutely hilarious, you know, because I mean, like, look, I'm like, are you gonna torture me for eternity? But I love her. And the thing is that I still feel her energy, especially when I'm in harm's way or anything like that. Her energy is still there. You just got to seek after it. You are what you seek after. You are what you want to manifest. You are your ancestors. You know, when I look in the mirror, I see my dad all day, every day. I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh God, you know, there go Justin Jr. looking back at me in the face or whatever. So think about it. And that's all they're trying to do. So they make him a billionaire so that we'll sit up there and we look at that as success. That's not success. That's you know, well, so it's successful that you can call, you know, so you call women out of their name and you destroy families and you do all that, and then you got a family, you know, but you don't care. Like, your family is cool, but you don't care about destroying everybody else's family. See, that's the problem that I have. You know, oh, you married, you got children and all this kind of stuff, and you know, but your problems ain't the problems of the everyday ordinary common person. The everyday ordinary common person is trying to take care of their family, keep their family out of harm's way. They don't have bodyguards and they don't have, you know, and all this stuff this dude be doing, man, come on. And he's talking about, you know, Donald Trump and things were better now than when Obama was president and all kind of crazy stuff. And then people will follow that and listen to that. Why? Because he's got money. Simply. He's got money, but he's ignorant as all outdoors. He ain't got nothing to do with his money. The boy has a screw loose, and I believe, and that's because when his mother transitioned, he didn't have anybody, you know, and he wasn't he's never been grounded spiritually, and because he's never been grounded spiritually, he's like all over the place. So you can give a fool a whole bunch of money, ain't nothing wrong with it, but it ain't nobody that you should follow, that you should listen to, or that you should plan your life after. I'm just telling you. And call me a hater if you want to. You know, haters gonna hate. Anyway, I love y'all, and I don't hate them. I'm just saying, don't be fooled. You know, you should never hate anybody, but don't be fooled by why they do this to certain people. Just like when y'all found out that just like everybody, yeah, Jay-Z got $1 billion, this, that, other thing, but he was selling everybody out. So if I got $1 billion and I sell all y'all out, what does that make me? Think about it. If I got $1 billion and I sold all of y'all out and y'all all broke, but y'all love me. Okay, bye-bye. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.